Now we review Red One. Red One? It's a movie about crappy dye? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have seen Red One, a Netflix movie that for some reason they want you to pay movie theater ticket prices for. Really, Netflix? Anyway, so this CGI nightmare features a world where Santa Claus is real, recognized as a friendly by the United States government, and for some reason, despite being real and centuries old, somehow hidden from the world. His bodyguard is, The Rock, which should make him very, very, very safe. And he's played by J.K. Simmons, who, of course, in this is Jack Claus, because he is totally jacked. I mean, this is a Santa Claus that really shouldn't need a lot of protection because he could tie the average polar bear in a knot. There is also a polar bear that can talk that is running around being part of his security detail, but we don't get nearly enough of that polar bear, and that polar bear is crappy CGI. Now, in this ridiculous world of insaneness, Santa Claus gets kidnapped. This was all in the trailer. And now The Rock and Chris Evans, who plays typical evil douchebag father number 3, have to go find Santa. Look, this movie does not tread any new ground. It does not give us a solid idea into a world where Santa Claus could exist. I don't even get why Santa Claus would need to hide. And, I mean, let's just be clear on the fact that if there was a world where Santa Claus was real and all these other mythical creatures were real, you'd kind of know who wanted to kidnap Santa, because there's a short list of people who would want to do that. And, their reasons would be very clear. The interesting thing about this is that our villains in this want to deal with naughty children. And that's admirable, actually. I mean, it's like, you may not agree with how they deal with naughty children, but their dealing with naughty children is pretty admirable, because The Rock is going to leave Santa's security detail because he's like, too many people are naughty. It's like, I don't know if people have actually gotten worse over the years, but do remember there was a time in human history where your soldiers got to go into any place they wanted to outside of your home country and, just sexually abuse people. It was a very nasty time. And it's like, let's be honest here. Are there more naughty people now than there were in, say, World War II? I mean, people aren't nice. People stink. I get that. But, it suspends my disbelief just too far that these things happened. That you have somebody who could kidnap Santa Claus, and the mix of the technological and the mythical. Well, I mean, it's a little too cliche at this point, actually. It's like you've got the bad guy, and they say, don't touch anything. Okay, he's going to touch something. From the moment don't touch anything, he's going to touch something. It's just like, what was that one movie? I think it was set on, it was a prison movie where they were breaking into the prison and something, and they say, whatever you do, don't touch those cords. And then, of course, somebody winds up touching those cords and getting fried. That's how movies work. It's, don't do the thing. We're going to do the thing. Ghostbusters did it pretty well. Whatever you do, don't cross the streams. Well, we're going to have to cross the streams now because we need the power. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But in this movie, it's like, really? And then that moment winds up having very little to do with the plot because, the whole thing was they were supposed to do the thing, and they wound up doing the thing regardless of him touching the thing. So it's very, like, this is going to happen. This is how Christmas magic happens. So cliche. I mean, I will say that The Rock is doing a very good impression of Batman. And to be completely honest with you, the security stuff, at least at the beginning, yeah, look, I've been a security officer. And, I'm the guy that's cried over the radio, hey, we need eyes on so-and-so. And, heard the check back. So at least that's accurate. But, I mean, here's the thing about this movie. The special effects are abysmal. And if you're a dumb kid, you may enjoy them. This is a movie made for dumb kids. But The Rock is giving something of an adult performance, and the jokes about Wonder Woman are just too adult to work. Now, of course, I don't laugh at a lot, so I didn't laugh at all at this. That's not to say it was a bad movie. It's a competent but lifeless film. And I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, The Rock plays a security detail guy, so having a stick up his rear end, the North Pole itself perhaps, makes perfect sense. Except for the fact that, dude, you work for the most joyous man on earth. Why would you behave that way? The Rock actually has a certain level of range. He can really be charming and charismatic, which he isn't in this movie. In fact, most of the people feel like they're really phoning it in. Okay? There was a plethora of magical monsters, like this was a Star Wars movie and they're trying to sell action figures, but I didn't know that Netflix did that. So just the bad writing is become a thing. I mean, it worked for Star Wars because Star Wars was awesome and it had great special effects. So yeah, man, have all kinds of monsters that you could make action figures of. This, you made a giant toy commercial. Are you even going to sell toys for it? This don't make sense. Anyway. So yeah, where does this... It's middle to lower middle of your watch list. Put it in the middle of your watch list if you have kids. This is a dumb kids' Christmas movie. It's, sort of like a souped-up super spy version of the Tim Allen Santa Claus films, with a similar premise that, Santa Claus is real, and there is a mechanics behind it. Thing is that this has been done, and better. So, yeah. Middle of the watch list, lower middle of the watch list. If you're an adult, you have no reason to see this if you're not with children, unless they added, like Gal Gadot, which I would have preferred. But, yeah. I will, however, say that at least they didn't make any annoying religious references to this. But we have had real movies where there's a more gritty, realistic Santa. And we have had horror movies with Santa that were actually awesome. So, I can't say much for this. It's not new territory. It's not unique. It's The Rock being The Rock. It's Simmons stooping to a much, much lower performance than he should be in a role where he hasn't got much to do. I would love to see him in a remake of Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, but, yeah. Don't think that's happening soon. Anyway, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Barry, the official Strawberry Poison Dart Frog of Random Street Theater, here with an important message for all of you. I was symbolically adopted from the WWF, the World Wildlife Fund, in order to fund habitat preservation for my species. And these bracelets around my neck are from 4Ocean, a company that pulls trash out of the ocean every time you buy something from them. And this channel will buy something from them for every 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to make the world a better place, and you can help. You can comment, you can like, and you can subscribe, and it won't cost you a thing. Isn't that wonderful? Well, maybe you should do that then.